Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you what you can do with that head of cabbage that you only use for slaw or salad. Today I'll be sharing with you this fried cabbage recipe, which is also keto diet friendly. Now here's what you need for it. You need cabbage. I'll be using half of this. You'll also need some onion. I prefer white for this recipe. I don't like red cabbage in this. That's my personal preference anyway. You'll also need some garlic, some sweet paprika. You need some salt, some cayenne pepper. And for some deep flavor, you need smoked paprika. You'll also need some vegetable oil or any oil of your preference. You can also use butter, some Scotch Bonnet Peppers. And you would need smoked Frankfurters. This is the brand that I use. I love to use the hetters. Why? Because of the flavor. It is smoked with beecham wood. It is super flavorful and I love it. You would also need some big back. You'd need some smoked bacon as well. You can use liquid smoke if you want to get that smoky flavor, and also if you do not eat pork, you can substitute the frankfurters and bacon for chicken thighs, specifically chicken thighs, or you can use some prawns or shrimp. Now to make this, go ahead and prep the ingredients. So I typically chop the frankfurters and bacon into bite sizes. Cabbage is one of those vegetables that it's sort of bland really, and in order to make it taste delicious, you need to pack a lot of flavor into it, and I don't just mean with seasoning. You need to pack some flavor into it with the protein that you use, or even mushrooms. You can also use mushrooms here, but we're using pork. Anyway, once you're done slicing up the smoked frankfurters and bacon, set that aside and then move along to your onion. I am doing some long strips here because I want the onion to sort of mimic the look and feel of the cabbage. You can use red onion if you please, but I just don't like that funky color that red onion has when you cook it down. For the sake of this video, I am using half head of this cabbage. You can go ahead and use the full one, just double the measurements that you have. The full list of the ingredients and measurements will be in the description box, so check that out before you start to make this. I used to be a keto diet fanatic, so this is one of the recipes that I would make for myself, my sister, and sometimes for my clients. So I've shown you the size that I am aiming to get or looking for with the cabbage. I still want the cabbage to have some crunch after cooking it, so that's why I'm cutting them down in this size. You can go thinner if you want, or you can cut them in square, like whichever one that you want. But this is the size that I'm going with. Now once you're done cutting your cabbage, it's important for you to wash and rinse them and dry them before you start to use. Now to cook this, I add some vegetable oil into my pan. Yes, vegetable oil. Like I said, you can use butter. The reason why I added vegetable oil here is because, or the reason why I'm using vegetable oil is because this type of bacon, or this particular bacon, doesn't typically render juice. So for me to get that bacon flavor or bacon fat, I need to add a bit of vegetable oil or any oil at all in order to cook the bacon with it. As you can see, the bacon, it has absorbed all of that oil that I added to the pan. Now what I'm looking for isn't to get the bacon crispy. I want it to still have a chewy consistency, almost like a meaty feel in my mouth, but not necessarily crispy. So now once I get it to this point, I go in with my frankfurters. Again, I am also trying to get some color into I'm trying to get color on the frankfurters, and not necessarily burn it or roast it like most Nigerians do. Sorry, that was a whole tree of shade, and I'm sorry for that. Anyway, I'm not looking to burn this. Like I said, I just want to give it some color and also allow the flavor of the sausage and bacon, to infuse or get infused into the oil. And at this point, I am really okay with how the Frankfurter and bacon look. So I'm going to take that out of the pan and carry on with the rest of the cooking. Like I said, you can use prawns here or shrimp. Prawn and shrimp has a ton of flavor which would really go well with this cabbage. Cabbage has a typically mild flavor, so you need something strong and uber so good that you can pair it with. Now once you take out the frankfurters and bacon out of the pan, still with the hot pan, just like so, add your onion. You don't need to add any more vegetable oil at this point. I mean, you can add more butter or vegetable oil if you like, but I'm not going to do that. Saute your onion for a bit, and then going with your Scotch Bonnet Peppers. You can use as little as you want or as much as you want. You can also take out the seed if you want it less spicy, or you can leave the seed in just like I did, because I actually want it a bit spicy. So go ahead and stir that until the onion becomes translucent. I'm typically not one person that likes to see onion in their food, so white onion is such a great choice for this meal. Now once I get it to the onion to be translucent, once the onion is translucent, oh my god, English, I go ahead and add my garlic. Now I'm not looking to burn my garlic or overcook my garlic. All I just want is just to get that fragrance. So as soon as the garlic becomes fragrant, I go in with my cut up cabbage. Don't forget to wash your cabbage. Wash it, rinse it, drain it, and dry it up. Now add that back into the pot and stir that just a little bit. Next up, going with the seasoning, I'm adding the paprika, the smoked paprika. I'm adding the cayenne pepper. Then I go in with some salt, just a little bit of salt. I'm typically not one person that likes to cook with a lot of salt. I'm trying to cut down on my sodium intake, so but feel free to season this to your personal preference. So next thing I'm going to do is to stir that around, just move it around. Even though it feels like the pan is burning, don't worry, we're going to deglaze it with water. You can use chicken stock, beef stock, or whatever that you fancy. But for the sake of this video, oh my god, that was just a cock crow. Anyway, for the sake of this video, I am using water. Now you can use as much water as you want, but like I said, I still want the cabbage to still have a bite to it. I want it to still feel like it is fresh. But then again, I need enough water in order to steam and allow the spices to cook. Now at this point, see how I've deglazed the pan, and all that burnt bits and pieces has lifted, and it's cooking with the cabbage. I'm so excited. This is just one meal that I really did enjoy when I was in my keto diet frenzy. Now once I stir that up, it's time for me to introduce back the sausage and bacon into the pan. And once I do that, I'm going to cover that up and allow this to steam for about 5 to 8 minutes on low heat. Now you can add more water if you'd like. If you add more water or chicken stock or beef stock, you can typically just turn this into a sauce and eat it with rice, potatoes, or whatever. But for me, this is perfect. It is great, and it is just a great side dish that you can add to your table this holiday season. I hope that you liked this, and I hope that you make it this holiday season. And until next time, I love you, Manchos.